Hey, what's up? This is Chosen. In this video, we're going to be talking about the best Nightmare Sigil, in my opinion. You want to be running this Nightmare Dungeon over and over and over whenever you can, and you want to be saving these sigils when they drop during your Nightmare Dungeons, and also when you craft them, because it is insanely efficient farming. So I'll show you why this dungeon is so good, and then the farming methods that we use in the team to make sure we're chaining this dungeon as often as possible. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so first of all, there is a couple things that you want to understand when it comes to Nightmare Sigils, and that is they go on a rotation, so they're not all alive in the game at all times. There's certain ones that are going to drop and certain ones you can craft and run and acquire, and I'm going to get a dedicated video and guide about that rotation and all of the different sigils and how that whole system works. But I do want to let you know what the best one in game is, in my opinion, so you can save it when you do come across it. And then also a good tactic can be when you come across the best sigils, get together with some of your friends on Discord or your clan or whatever, and then save the best sigils and then run them together as a group so that you can just chain them back to back to back. You get like 15, 20 of the best sigils for a certain dungeon that you really like. And then what we do is we just form up a group of 4, and then all of us contribute those sigils and we just chain them for a few hours back to back to back to back and farm up XP and glyphs super efficiently. But the Nightmare Sigil that we're going to be talking about in the context of this video is going to be the Blind Burrows Nightmare Sigil. So Blind Burrows, in my opinion, is the one that you really want to watch out for. Now, there's going to be a few that are really good, but I think this one is the absolute best one. And I'll also eventually get a video out that shows every single Nightmare dungeon in the game and the absolute tip-top ones to watch out for that are similar and close to Blind Burrows. So then when we go ahead and we pop this Nightmare Sigil, we can see that on the map, it is going to spawn right here, down here towards the southeast of the whole in-game map. And you've got it in between a couple waypoints here in Zarbinzit and then also Virez. So you can go to either one and then just kind of navigate up there to Blind Burrows. And I'll show you what makes this dungeon so good. So I hop on down to that waypoint, and then within about a minute or so, we should be able to gallop on up to the dungeon entrance, and then I will fast forward to that point. And really quickly, that's why it is so important to try and save these up and run them in chunks where you're doing the same dungeon back to back to back, because you'll avoid all of this time where you see me going on the map and locating the dungeon and then teleporting there and then walking there with my mount and all of that. All of that time is eliminated if you're able to save up and run these Nightmare dungeons in chunks with some of your friends and stuff. You save up 10, 20 of these things and you just chain them back to back to back and avoid all of the downtime that you're seeing me kind of fast forward through here in the video. All right, so here we are at the entrance, and you can kind of tell by the door that it is the current Nightmare Dungeon. It's got that little red effect on the door. Now, when you get used to this dungeon, you can clear this thing in like 3 minutes, and it's super consistent, super easy to clear. You don't have any of those annoying kill all objectives or grab this stone and bring it back to the pedestal and backtrack a ton. This one is super consistent. The first thing you're going to see that you have to do is you have to slay the infested villagers. Then you're going to move forward to killing the boss, and that's that. So when we're in the dungeon, we just kind of want to zoom around the map, and we don't really want to kill anything unless it's a huge pack of mobs, and we have our cooldowns that can be efficient for XP and all that. So if you do have a bunch of stuff following you and you have your cooldowns, go ahead and pop and scoop up the XP and different loot that can drop while you're clearing. So our main goal when we're going through is we just want to be able to find those infested villagers as fast as possible. Now, if you do have a bunch of stuff following you and you also have like your cooldowns and stuff, or you have a conduit shrine or whatever, obviously kill stuff and scoop up the XP and some of the loot that you can get. But our main goal is just to complete the dungeon as fast as possible and scoop up those glyph levels and also the XP that we're getting along the way. And then you'll see that they are indicated on the map. Right here is one of the infested villagers. We take it down, and now it says that I've got 2 infested villagers left. And there, oh, there you go. Look at that. So we've got a Blind Burrows Nightmare Sigil. So right there, that is one that you're going to want to keep and look out for. That is perfect. And I let myself get poisoned. Okay. So, Okay, we got all these spiderlings spawning. Okay, I'm trying to talk here. Okay, so you see I have two different Nightmare Sigils. One is Earthen Wound, and then one is Blind Burrows. These Blind Burrows ones, you definitely want to watch out for. This is great that I got lucky and this dropped during the video. And then save those up with some of your friends, and then get together and run these awesome dungeons together so you can chain them back to back to back for a few hours and be super efficient with your farming. So now let me go forward and find these other two infested villagers. Okay, so here's the other one, and we'll take it down real quick. Boom, 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 pop that, okay. And then we've just got one more. And it should be down here. We're coming into these little rooms. Yeah, they're usually like down in these little rooms off in the corner. And I will say on this map, you want to be really careful about standing still. There's going to be lots of poison going off. So be really careful with that. You want to kind of like stop, burst, and then move. Stop, burst, and then move. And keep your mobility high because there's going to be those constant poison pools that are all over you. And the poison can get pretty crazy. It's really easy to die in this dungeon if you are just stationary and let those poisons start ticking away on you. So be careful about that. But now I've killed the 3 infested villagers. And all I got to do is run forward to the boss and we're good to go. And the boss fight's going to be up here on the map, and I'm really only going to stop to kill stuff if I have my cooldowns, like I said, and I've got a bunch of mobs on me. But again, you want to keep on the move. You want to keep avoiding those poison pools as best you can, and really only take the time to stop if you absolutely have to, and there's a bunch of stuff on you. There we go. I got all that poison I got to avoid because we just want to keep moving and we want to get to that boss and just kill stuff when we have big packs to take advantage of high density. And it's going to be up here, it looks like, and boom, we are already at the boss. We kill the 3 villagers, and then we move on forward to the boss, and we are able to clear the dungeon super efficiently. And there we go, couple different rotations of our cooldowns, take the boss down, and that was probably about 3 minutes or so in total to take down the dungeon. Super easy, just keep it moving, avoid those poisons, and you'll be able to clear this dungeon in no time and get very efficient farming for sure. So by the time season 1 is out, I will definitely have for you here on the channel. I'll make like a fancy infographic and everything laying out my exact thoughts on every single Nightmare dungeon. I'll get in touch with the team and we will get more perspectives than just mine. And then I'll make sure that I forward that resource to you as well. But in the meantime, I really want you to watch out for this Blind Burrows Nightmare Sigil because it's one of the more popular ones in the community that a lot of people are running for very efficient XP and glyph levels in the Nightmare dungeon mechanic because you're going to need to dive into that mechanic to unlock lots of power for your builds. You're going to want to get a bunch of those glyphs up to level 15, and then once you have the full Paragon board fleshed out, you want to get your glyphs up to level 21. So you're going to need to grind a lot of these Nightmare Sigils, Nightmare dungeons, and definitely save up those Blind Burrow ones and then dump a bunch of them with your team and your friends. But even if you're solo, no worries, just go ahead and clear them as often as you can, and then I'll get you that full list pretty soon here of all of the ones to save if you're a solo player and you're just looking for like the top 10 Nightmare Sigils that you want to make sure you always have in your inventory and don't accidentally salvage them or get rid of them. So let me know down below your favorite Nightmare Sigils, and if there's ones that stand out to you. I'm always looking for more and more testing on doing these and increasing my knowledge on which are the best and most optimal to farm for sure. So I appreciate all of you. Remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Diablo 4 content, and I will see you soon in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.